That might bleed. Hello, welcome to the 29th episode of the Chambler build series. I'm going to be putting this little cap in here on the driver's side, and then we will be getting to figuring out what's hiding in this area on the passenger side. It's a world of mystery and make-believe. It'll be mysterious and made up in it for about another 3 or 4 minutes. Then it gets to fun. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So everything's cleaned up and prepped. I'll move you on to the next stage. The plan right now for the next stage is to go ahead and cut this line off and get the stuff that's pointing out off. And then I'm likely going to come in here and slice this down and have it meet some of the existing Cherokee firewall, because this is too far back in. But I need to get this thing connected because right now there is absolutely no structure here except for a very small amount on the other side of this brace. I went ahead and made a template for this inner support, transferred to some steel and cut it. I'm not worried about this connecting to this outer piece. I just need something in here. It's going to get capped off and covered. It's just going to connect to what is existing there for the inner structure for the cowl and for the firewall. And I don't quite know where I'm going with this yet, but I have a pretty good idea. This is going to be separate. This is just for inner structure. It's transferred, so I'll get cutting. I wanted to make sure this edge was nice and smoothed out before I went and put this in, because this is where we're going next. That need to be done. Everything I'm doing here, I'm going to be doing the other side. So I'm not going to show you too much of this, whatever's the same, but there's going to be a lot of differences, and I will definitely be showing you that stuff. That didn't work out so well. Strong crap. Strong and crap. Most of my welds are strong and crap. It's like a cartoon joke. Strong crap. Yeah, it's all in and ground up. The inner part's good and strong. And nothing's moving. I'm going to have a cover plate going over to here. I'm likely going to section this and mount whatever plate I make in the inner structure of the rockers, or the inner fenders. And then there'll be the cap piece and some other pieces. I left this long because I want to fit it to whatever I end up doing here. So I just trimmed it to here, and then as I make this piece, I'll trim what I need to, or possibly fold it over to give me some more structure. See how it goes. Hello. Do the same basic thing on the passenger side, and as I get the top done, I'm going to work my way down, meet the floor, fix all that stuff, work forward like I've said in several videos now. I'm sorry if I'm repeating myself. Get the whole front structure done, and then I can start going backwards. So I can start working towards the back. No more going backwards with this project. So let's see what's hiding behind the passenger side cap. That might bleed. Oh, hey, look, more damage. I'm sticking my fingers in to the interior because there's so many holes. Spacer? I'm gonna pull this panel, and when I get to that point I'll bring it back because it's probably gonna be more of a mess. I think this is glued in place and then riveted. I would be taking more care if I thought I was going to repair most of this, but this is scrap, these parts, so. I think this is another plate that they put in there. I have to take this out as well. Yep, they put that in there. As you can see by the stuff dropping through, there's lots of holes. I'm gonna clean as much of the garbage out of here and try to figure out where I'm at. I'm gonna go in and needle scale and grind this surface in here and see how bad it is. I don't think I'm gonna have to make a reinforcement leg here, but I'm gonna have to do some other stuff. It looks like most of my work is gonna be inside. This is still somewhat solid, but I don't know if it's worth cleaning up or just cutting out. I'm not sure yet. So I'm still gonna have to reform everything, and this area is worse than on the driver's side. They're equally crappy in different ways, so I can't mirror repairs. It's going to be close, but not 100%. I'm gonna go ahead and clean up these jagged cuts, figure out what I'm doing with this, because this is still somewhat strong, so I'm going to cut the stuff that's bad out of it because I need to get in here. I'm going to have to make a template for here. I will bring it inside because I need to cut and size the stuff that's in there because that whole area is rotted, and I'll show that to you after I get done with this. Yeah, so this entire area is where the heater box and everything was, the heater core. It is completely destroyed all the way up and over. So I'm going to be replacing as much of this as I have to. Big thing right now is I'm going to trim around this area so I can make a plate like I did for the driver's side to at least get those connected, and then I can start to fish the rest of this through and figure out how I'm going to fix this, because everything is messed up, including into the firewall itself. Sorry, the respirator fell into my teeth when I was trying to talk to you, so that's why I sounded like this in that part of the video, and I'm not going to record it because I ain't got the time. The level of damage on the passenger side area where the heater core would go has made me change my plans a little bit. What I am going to do is connect these two materials, outer face and the inner face. When I had to remove that lip that joined them both, the flange, it removed the connection, which you can hopefully see. So I'm going to tack weld them together, the plating, and then I'm going to put some inner bracing in for the face here for the firewall. We'll fix that at a later date as I'm going through this, but there's so much damage, especially on the passenger side. I have to join these together first, so at least I know that they're together, because it's, when I get there, we'll get there. I was hoping to do the same thing over there first, but it's so messed up I'm going to have to probably cut most of the firewall and passenger side out later today. So things change. It's got to adjust. I'm going to use these large clamps to squeeze these two pieces of material together so I can tack them. I had really hoped to save as much of the firewall structure as possible, but it is an absolute completely destroyed mess on the passenger side. So I'm going to have to cut the whole thing out. I believe I can stop the cut where he has that cut right there. I'm going to take the cut from where he has it delaminated, destroyed, and work it over to the passenger side. At least most of the driver's side seems to be intact. I'm still going to have to heavily modify it. At least I shouldn't have to completely rebuild it. So I'm basically going to cut that entire section out from where his slice line is on the left over to the giant open hole. I'm going to have to restructure this driver's side area to meet the Cherokee firewall in a much more appropriate manner. I think I can do that without hopefully doing more damage to what's there, because the upper structure, this upper structure, at least on the driver's side, is intact over to here. So I'll slice it somewhere around there and over. I'm not going to reuse the factory airbox like I've said, because I can't. So I can restructure this as I need to. I'm going to have to order a universal heater core and get at least the measurements before it gets here, so I have an idea of what I'm doing. Show you outside. Might be a little hard to tell, but most of the driver's side of the firewall is in decent enough shape to at least use it. And then you start getting to the middle and over to the passenger side. The stuff on the passenger side is a complete mess, so I'm start cutting it out slowly. Thanks for watching the 29th episode of the Chambler build series. This whole area right here is magically going to become less and less whole in the next episode, and then I'll start into building custom stuff for firewall, like this thing you probably can barely see right here, which is a custom centerpiece that starts the whole thing. This is going to be a very involved episode. I'm going to try to put it all into one, so there'll only be one episode coming out next week. Hopefully I'll have all this stuff done. There'll be other content, Jeep content, who knows what, but there'll definitely be at least 2 build videos a week. One on this, one on something else, and a ton of shorts. So like, share, subscribe. Thank you all so much for watching and subscribing and all the other stuff. If there's something you want to see, let me know. Otherwise, see you next time.